Hi everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a full body flow, a little bit of strengthening, and a lot of kind of stretching out through the front of the neck and in the shoulders because I've been playing lots of video games with my husband, which has surprisingly made my neck sore, I guess from like sitting back on the couch but not having anything for my head to go onto. So we'll be stretching that out. If you have blocks or books or a pillow, you can use those. We're going to be doing some balancing later, so if there's anything that you want to use to help you with your balance, so you can use a chair or a stool or just furniture that you have around you to help you balance, that's fine. Anything that makes you feel good. And remember, as always, you can skip anything that you don't like. You can make things harder, you can make things easier. Just make it so that you feel good at the end of it. It doesn't matter if you hit the apex version of the pose. You can do whatever feels good for you. We're going to get started laying down. So if you want to just come onto your back, roll yourself down, let your feet be flat on the ground if that's comfortable for you. Let your knees drop in, hands down by your sides, relaxing your shoulders back, maybe lifting the chin just a little bit. We'll just start with some long, deep breaths. So see if you can send your air all the way down to the lowest part of your belly. As you exhale, start to pull the navel in, letting all of the air leave from that bottom part of your lungs all the way up. Just noticing anywhere that you're holding tension. See if you can let it be relaxed with your exhale. And we'll just take a couple more breaths here. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do that. You can maybe bring your hands onto your chest to do it, or you can keep them down by your sides. Sort of like a little resolution. It doesn't even have to be yoga related, just something to tune back into and help you bring your focus into the present moment. And then on your next inhale, walk your feet so that they are hips width apart. Maybe scooting your booty a little bit closer towards your heels. Lift your chin a little. We'll start with just some rolling bridges. So inhaling, starting to press into your heels. Just come up a little tiny bit. And as you exhale, roll back down. So just move that with your breath. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower, maybe coming up higher each time. If it feels good, still keeping the hips kind of low, you can bring the arms into it, just making sure you're not putting the weight into your neck. And just bringing the arms up and back down. And if you're not super comfortable about lifting your hips and your arms at the same time, you can do them at opposite times. So keeping the hips down and lifting the arms up over your head, and then bringing them down, and then lifting your hips. So whatever feels good for you. And if you'd like to, you can start to kind of bring your arms out to a cactus shape as you lift the hips. And then as you lower, lengthening the arms up over your head, just starting to bring a little bit of stretch through the front of the chest, into your triceps and biceps. And this next time that you have your arms out into that like cactus shape, just bring your hips down onto the ground. We're going to hold here. See if you can get your whole forearm on the floor. Spread your fingertips really wide. And then we're going to take the gaze over to the left. When you're ready, bringing the gaze back to center and over to the right. On your next inhale, bring your gaze back to center. We're going to bring the arms out to a T, but we're going to come all the way over onto our left side. So make sure that your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked, and then your hands are going to be stacked. And we're going to inhale, reach back, let your head be relaxed down, and exhale, close back up. So if it feels better to have a pillow under your head, you can. If you like to, you can start to make that cactus shape with the arm. It just makes the stretch a little bit more intense. And this next time that you have yourself opening up towards that twist, just let your arm hang back. Maybe you can bend at your wrist and let your fingertips come down to the ground behind you. Just breathing here. And then on your next exhale, close that arm up. Slowly come back onto your back, and we'll come over to the other side. So I'm going to be facing away from you. Your hips are stacked, your knees are stacked, arms are stacked, and we'll just inhale, reach that left arm back, and exhale to close it up. Try to bring your breath into your movements. Just like on the other side, you can make a cactus shape with the arm if it feels good, makes it a little bit deeper, brings it into the shoulder. And then this next time that you have your arm back, go ahead and leave it there. And you can bend at your wrist, bring your fingertips to the floor. Try to spread them wide. And then on your next exhale, closing yourself back up, slowly make your way back onto your back. We're going to bring the knees into the chest, take your hands on tops of your kneecaps and draw some big circles. And then we'll just let the feet fall down onto the ground. Take your knees and your feet wide, and we're just going to windscreen wiper the knees side to side. See if you can get whatever knee is on the inside all the way down to the floor or close to it. And then we'll come back into center, soles of the feet onto the ground. One more time in bridge pose, this time with your triceps on the ground, your fingertips pointing up. We're just going to press the heels into the ground, lifting the hips, and then press those biceps into the floor or triceps into the floor, lifting the hips. Keep your chin away from your chest. Squeeze. And on your exhale, slowly lower back down, windscreen wiper knees side to side. And then we'll come back into center. Pull the knees into the chest. Start to rock forward and back. Take a couple of rounds. And then when it feels good for you, we're just gonna make our way up to seated. So find your way to a nice comfortable seat. It's okay if you can't sit cross-legged, or if you want, you can sit on a block, a book, a pillow, whatever, elevating your hips a little bit so that you can get more comfortable into this seated position. And we're just gonna stretch out the neck a little bit. So on your inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chin, and then bring the chin down to the chest. See if you can start to bring your upper back, but keep pulling your hands so you're getting a stretch across the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen up. See if you can reach your shoulders down towards the floor. And then exhale, chin down to your chest. Keep pulling with your hands like you're trying to reach yourself forward, and back with your shoulders. We'll do one more in each direction. So pulling down with the shoulders. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, chin down to your chest. Pull with the hands. Try to bring your shoulders back. And then coming back to center, we're going to bring the left hand down to the ground. Reach the right arm over. Lengthen as long as you can. When you're ready, pressing into your left hand, open your chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can bring your right arm behind you. And then we're going to bring our right hand onto the left side of the head. Start to make your way up. Put some weight into your head. If it feels good, reach your fingertips. Maybe spread them wide. Making a fist and then bringing your fingers as wide as you can. And then we're going to release that right hand down. Lengthen really tall. Bring the left arm over. Find your way into that side bend. Pressing into your right hand, open up your chest towards the ceiling. Maybe your left arm can come back behind you. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your hand right onto the outside of the head and just bring yourself into that stretch, maybe widening and then clenching your fist. Try to see if you can let your shoulders relax away from your ears. And then releasing back to center, arms up above your head, lengthen as tall as you can. As you exhale, come into a forward fold, let your chin drop down, let your head be heavy. When you're ready, walking your fingertips back. We're going to change the cross in your legs if you're sitting cross-legged, and we're just going to do the same thing again, lengthening up. As you exhale forward, notice the difference in the way it feels in your hips to have the opposite leg in front. And then slowly come back up and make your way over to all fours. Starting with a couple rounds of cat and cow. Just inhale your chest forward. See if you can roll those shoulders back away from the ears. Almost trying to bring your chest between your biceps. And as you exhale, lift the back up towards the ceiling. And we'll just move that up through that a couple of times. See if you can make some big shoulder movements here. Spread your fingertips wide. And then finding your way back in through center, we're going to reach up with the left arm, open yourself as wide as you can, and then as you exhale, bring it underneath the right, threading the needle, shoulder down to the floor. Your right arm can extend long. If it feels okay for your neck, you can look to the left. And then when you're ready, bring your right hand back under. Press yourself back to center. We'll do the other side. So now your right arm's gonna reach up, opening it really wide. As you exhale, thread it underneath the left arm, bringing your left arm long, and just like on the other side, you can look towards the right if it feels good. When you're ready, slowly press your way back to center. Spread your fingertips wide, tuck your toes. We're gonna find our way to downward facing dog. For this first one, keep your knees bent really deep. See if you can tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling and widen your shoulders. So they're not, your armpits aren't opening up like this. You're trying to close them down. Press into each of your fingertips, and then you can start to pedal out your legs whenever you're ready. We're gonna come up onto our tippy toes, press your chest back, try to get your head through the shoulders, and then release. We'll come back up onto the toes, same thing again, pressing your chest, and then release. One more time there. Coming up, press, and then release. We're gonna walk the hands back to the feet. Coming into your forward fold, grab opposite elbows, rock side to side. I like to put my head in between my arms, putting a little bit of extra weight in those upper back, in the upper back. When you're ready, release your arms. We're gonna slowly roll up all the way to standing. Reach the arms above your head, out in front of you. Take the palms together. Bring them back behind the head, open your chest up. Inhale, reach all the way back up. Exhale, the hands down behind your back, clasping, open your chest. Reach your hands down your back if you can, pull your belly in, bend your knees, we'll come into a fold. So if it feels better, you can bend your elbows, bringing the knuckles to your low back, or you can let your arms extend long. And then see if it feels okay to sort of pendulum your arms side to side so you're coming into a little bit of a twist. And then we'll go ahead and release. Roll all the way back up to standing, lengthen tall, reaching up, this time bringing your arms into that cactus shape, open your chest. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, open, arms all the way down, sweeping up, one more time. And exhale, straight back down. We're gonna walk ourselves out into a plank, and we're gonna hold. So see if you can let your shoulders release back away from your ears. Gazing down at the floor, press your fingers into the ground, press your heels back towards the wall that's behind you. And then we're going to come onto the knees, flow through cat and cow. Taking the hands forward just a little bit. We're going to reach our chest forward, lengthen really tall. See if you can start to sink your chest down, keeping your hips right above your knees. Maybe your forehead wants to come to the ground. Maybe your nose, maybe you can bring your chin down. Or if you have the ability, you can come all the way into that plank puppy, looking forward. And then slowly come back up. Bring your hands back, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. When you're ready, we're gonna reach the left leg high, Bend your knee, open your hips up. See if you can stack one on top of the other and then close that shoulder down towards the floor. And if it feels good, we're gonna come to Wild Thing. So step your foot slowly down behind you, opening your chest towards the ceiling. And we'll just circle the arm a couple of times. And then come all the way back into that three-leg dog and step your foot all the way forward, finding a kneeling lunge. So back knees down, top the back foot's down. When you're ready, we're gonna come all the way up, lengthening. Keep pressing into the top of that back foot. Maybe you can come out of the lunge a little bit. Maybe you want to stay in. We're going to take the hands down behind the back, clasping. Open your chest. See if you can slide the hands down, but keep pressing your hips forward. And then slowly coming back up, hands down to the floor. Shift your weight back, finding that half split. And then coming forward again. You're going to plant your right hand down, tuck your right toes, slowly shift to the outside edge of your right foot. We're going to walk the left foot all the way over, holding here, maybe reaching the arm up. If it feels really good for you, you can come into a side plank. See if you can take this left hand down behind you, slowly coming over into a reverse plank. And then sink your hips down. Take the soles of the feet onto the ground. Give yourself a hug. Looking down, maybe bringing your chin towards your chest. And then inhaling up, crossing at the ankles, coming forward, stepping or hopping back into plank, flowing through chaturanga. We're going to come all the way onto the belly, hands wide, roll the shoulders back, lifting up into a cobra. Take your left ear towards your left shoulder, letting your right shoulder drop. Come back to center, do the other side. Come back to center, rolling down, pressing into the hands, up through all fours, and back to downward facing dog. And then we'll do the other side. So right leg's gonna lift up, opening the hips, bending the knee. See if you can stack the hips and keep the shoulders pointing straight down. If it feels good, we'll take the foot down to the floor behind us, finding your way into Wild Thing, maybe taking a couple circles with the arm. And then we'll come down back into your three-leg dog. And then step yourself forward into your kneeling lunge. So starting out here with the fingertips on the floor, back foot's down. See if you can almost, like you're trying to drag that front foot back to really put that stretch into your hip flexor. When you're ready, pressing into that front heel, rising up, lengthening the arms above your head, and then we'll take the hands down behind the back, clasping. Open your chest, roll your shoulders back, see if you can slide your hands down, maybe you can open your chest more. And then coming back, down with the hands, shift your weight back, find your half split. we'll shift our way back forward. Planting your left hand down, tuck your left toes under, lifting up. You're gonna start to walk your right foot over, come onto the outside edge of your left foot, either finding this modified side plank, or you can step all the way back into a full side plank. See if you can lengthen down your side. So rather than making like this big arch, see if you can relax through this shoulder. And then just like on the other side, you can bring your right hand down behind you, slowly making your way over, adjusting your hands for a reverse plank. And then when you're ready, hips down, give yourself a hug. And then when you're ready, lifting up through your head, cross at your ankles, make your way forward, stepping back into a plank, chaturanga if you feel like it. We're gonna come down to the floor though, hands wide, lifting up for that kind of higher cobra on your fingertips. If it feels good, let your right chin drop down, and then your left shoulder is gonna relax down. Come back to center, and then the other side. So you're gonna bring your ear over first, and then let your right shoulder drop down. And then back to center, lowering down, hands underneath the shoulders, press through all fours, find your way to downward facing. We're gonna come up onto the tippy toes really high, bend your knees, send your chest back. Releasing away, we'll do that 2 more times. So whenever you're ready, one more. And then we're gonna reach the right leg up. Take it as high as you can. See if you can turn your toes down towards the floor, keeping your hips closed, and then maybe you can bring that left heel down. It makes it a little bit harder, I think. Keep squeezing the glute on that right leg, but keep your hip and your toes pointing down. And then we're gonna step the right foot all the way forward, finding a runner's lunge. So your back knee is off the ground. Holding here. See if you can reach out through the heel of that left foot. And then just like before, you have your foot on the ground and you're almost trying to slide it back. Just creating that length between both legs. See if you can lengthen through your spine. And then we're gonna take the fingertips forward, shift your weight, lift up into a standing split or a standing L. See if you can lengthen your spine long. Keep your toes pointing straight down towards the floor. And then if it feels okay, start to lift your chest a little bit higher. Find warrior 3. And then we're gonna bring our knee all the way up into the chest, giving it a hug. And then I'm gonna turn towards you. We're just gonna do some eagle movements. So we've done this in my class before. We're gonna start by bringing the left toe out in front, so you're taking like a little curtsy. You're gonna squeeze it out to the side and then back behind, okay? If you want, you can bring your arms up and exhale, open and up and close. This next time, as you bring yourself up, we're gonna hold here. You're gonna take that left leg, wrap it around the right. See if you can send your inner thighs back, bend the knee, trying to get this foot wrapped around. Woo. Arms are gonna come out to a T. You're gonna bring your right arm forward, left arm on top. Start with just a hug. Staying here, or if it feels good, you can find those eagle arms wrapping. We'll lengthen up. Exhale, see if you can fold down. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold down. One more time. And then inhale, reach everything up. See if you can keep that left leg up, just bringing it right in front of you. And then step it all the way back. Find your way into like a starfish, hands onto your hips. Turn your toes forward so that your inside of your feet are parallel, and we'll just start to move into a forward fold. Shake your head yes and no. Maybe your hands can come behind you. On your next exhale, release your hands down. You're gonna bring them over towards the right. Just finding your way into like a side bend here, bringing your chest towards your right leg. If it feels good, you can keep your left hand on that right leg and lift your right arm up, maybe bringing it back behind your back, grabbing your opposite thigh. On your exhale, go ahead and release. We're gonna turn our left toes towards the left, sink all the way down, finding like a really low side lunge. See if you can send that heel down. Maybe you just need to sink in a little bit more. You can take your hands up off the ground if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good for me, I'm gonna fall. Keep breathing here. And then we're gonna walk our hands over to the left and step our way back to a plank. Chaturanga if you feel like it. Finding upward facing dog this time if it feels good. Try to reach those shoulders back, chest forward, and then press all the way up, downward facing. And then we'll do the other side. So spread your fingertips wide. Try to send your heels down towards the ground. Weight's gonna go into the right foot, and the left leg's gonna lift, pointing the toes straight down. See if you can sink your right heel down into the floor. Keep squaring the left hip up. Maybe you can squeeze the glute, getting that heel higher. When you're ready, stepping that left foot all the way forward, finding a runner's lunge. So you're up off of your heel or off of your knee. You're pressing your right heel back. You're trying to slide the weight back in your left foot so that you're lengthening in both directions. We're going to take the fingertips forward just like we did on the other side and find that standing L. So lift up, toes are facing straight down towards the floor. Try to see if you can get your chest down. Keep pressing out through your heels, squeezing your glute. And then just like before, we're going to take the chest a little bit higher. See if you can come to warrior three. Hips and toes still pressing straight down. And then we'll slowly bring that knee all the way into the chest, giving it a hug. Whew, so much harder on that side for me. And then I'm going to slowly turn towards you just so you can see. We're going to do those same like eagle things, eagle curtsies. So we'll start out just bringing the foot out in front. You're bending the standing leg, bring it out to the side to crunch, and then back behind you. And you can add the arms into it. So lengthening up, cactus as you come forward, lengthen up, give yourself a hug as you come back. This next time that you have yourself lifted up at the side, we'll hold there. Squeeze your standing leg. Your right leg is gonna wrap around, start to bend the left. See if you can bring the foot all the way around, arms out to a T. Left arm is on bottom this time, right arm on top. Give yourself a hug. And then maybe you can wrap, finding the bind. If this feels good and you're challenged enough, stay here. If you need more, we'll lengthen. And exhale, see if you can bend down. Inhale to come up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Woo, I'm gonna lose it. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time as you inhale up, see if you can bring that knee back up into your chest. And we're gonna step the foot back, coming into that like starfish. So step it all the way back. Lengthen up tall. Turn your toes so the inside of the feet are parallel, hands onto your hips. Inhale. From your hip joint, fold it forward. Maybe just rocking your head. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbows. Maybe stick your head through them. Just like on the other side, if it feels good, you can start to bring your arms and your chest towards your left leg. Maybe it feels good to bring your right hand there, lifting your left arm up and bringing it all the way around. Maybe you can grab your opposite leg, coming into a twist. When you're ready, coming back through center, turn your toes, or your right toes towards the right corner. We're just gonna sink down for that deep lunge. So finding yourself down here, just like on the other side, see if you can sink your weight back, trying to get the heel down towards the floor or near it. And you can use your arms to support you if you need to. And then we're just going to slowly come around, planting your hands down, stepping back. This time we're going to roll down onto our bellies, holding here. Just make a pillow with your hands. Rock your hips around. And we're going to come into a shoulder stretch. So I'm going to show you what your top arm is going to do first. So if you want, you can grab a block or a pillow, and you're going to be reaching your left or your right arm back. Actually, you'll be reaching your left arm back, so just watch first. Whichever arm back. The one that's not reaching back is going to come onto the block or the pillow or just onto the floor. You're going to start to just open your chest up. You can take the top leg and step it back behind you. It'll make more sense when I do it on the other side. But you can just put this block under if you want to. Let your head relax down. This leg can stay here if you need. We're just trying to find where we have a little bit of a stretch. So I'll do it on the other side so that you can see. So left arm's gonna reach, right? So you know what you're gonna be doing with your right arm. Here's what you're doing with your left. You can have it straight out. You can have it a little bit lower if you have some shoulder mobility problems, if it's really tight. Or if it feels okay, you can bring it into a cactus shape. So that's probably the hardest. I'm just gonna bring mine straight out. And then I'm looking to the right. My head's on the ground, and I'm just going to start to press. My right foot's going to come behind me. Holding here. If you have the flexibility, you can bring your right arm back behind your back. So when you're ready to come out of this, I want you to move even slower than you came into it. So you're going to bring your right hand down and very, very gently start to come back onto your belly. When you get there, reach both arms up over your head. And then we're going to move to the other side. So right arm's going to come out behind you. Your left hand's going to be on the floor. We're going to just start to press. So whatever you did on the other side, do on this side. We're going to start to press open. You can put something under you to support you. Maybe you can bring that left leg back behind you onto the floor. And maybe you can let your hand relax back behind you, trying to open up through your chest. Let your head be relaxed though, so you're not lifting it off the ground. If you need a pillow under it, go for it. Just try to breathe. Don't come to the point where it's a painful stretch. You just want it to where you can feel that opening in your chest. And for me, I start to get the release in the middle of my chest. I start to get kind of like an anxiety feeling right at the top of my sternum, almost my collarbone area, because I have so much tightness in the front of my chest, despite my ability to very easily do back bends. I'm very tight. My massage therapist says my back is like a brick wall. So just trying to breathe through this. Noticing any sensations you might be feeling and remembering to kind of stay on the edge of that stretch, not where it feels painful. On your next exhale, start to really slowly come out of it. So your left hand's going to come to the floor first if it's not there already. Start to close your left knee up, very, very gently coming back onto your belly. Both arms will reach forward. When you're ready, taking your hands right next to your shoulders, gently press yourself all the way up. We'll start by coming to child's pose. So bringing your hips back to your heels, just extend long, but make a pillow with your arms. Putting your head gently on the forearms, or you can bring the arms down by your sides, grabbing for your feet. When you're ready, gently pressing up. So we're going to come into camel pose. So if you have any back problems, maybe just skip this one, or you can just stay right here and open your chest. But we're going to come up onto standing on the knees, and then you're going to listen very carefully, and you're not going to do this. So you're not going to try to come back like this. See how my hips are no longer above my knees? You want to keep the hips right above the knees. And you're going to stay with just your fists in your low back if you start to open up like this and that's really deep already, rather than leaning back with the hips to try to get to your feet. Okay, so the All of this is nice and straight until you get to your back, until you get to your upper back. So toes can be tucked under, squeeze your glutes, open up, fists into your low back to start, reaching your chest. Maybe you can start to bring your chest back, but you're keeping those hips forward, buns are squeezing, and maybe you have the ability to grab for your feet, but your hips are still forward. When you're ready, both shoulders at once are going to come up, and then we're just going to sit down onto our knees. So if sitting on your knees isn't comfortable, you can come to sitting all the way down onto the ground. We're just going to take a few breaths here. And then we're just going to come into a nice gentle twist. So lengthening the arms up over the head. Take your pinkies so they're facing each other. Pull your belly in. We're going to exhale, turn to the left, and then just let your arms relax, maybe giving your torso a hug. Come all the way back up in center, lengthening tall. As you exhale, pull your belly in. Use the core to twist you over to the right, and then let your arms relax, maybe giving yourself a hug. Lengthening all the way back up, reach really tall, and then exhale, take the arms down. We're just going to come into seated, legs straight out in front of you. So we're going to start with staff pose. So I'll turn so that you can see what's happening with my spine. I'm going to move the flesh away from my sitting bones. I'm going to pull my toes back towards me, lengthen tall, hands are right by my sides, right? So I'm not leaning back here. I'm trying to come perfectly straight up. Spread your fingers, press the heel of the hand into the floor, and try to get your shoulders as far down as you can. And while you're doing that, the top of your head is trying to grow towards the ceiling. Keeping that kind of lengthening towards the ceiling, feeling, belly pulling in. See if maybe you can just let your chin drop down. So you're still reaching up tall with the spine and pressing down with the shoulders and hands. You're just letting your chin drop. Don't forget to breathe here. On your next exhale, go ahead and release. Shake out through your shoulders. We're going to come to laying down. So slide yourself forward, lay down onto your back, and then come onto your right side. We're going to just stretch out the quad on the left leg. So you're going to grab hold of your foot, give yourself a nice quad stretch. You can bring the right arm or right leg long, or you can keep it bent. Try to squeeze your glutes, pressing the hip forward. Don't forget to breathe. And then when you're ready, coming off, rolling onto the other side. Same thing, grabbing hold of the foot, just stretching out that quad, squeeze your glute. And then go ahead and release. Come back onto your back. We're going to come back into bridge pose like we started at the beginning of class. So soles of the feet on the ground. Take them so that they're width of your hip bone, not the outside of your hip, the front of your hip. Lift your chin so you have space between the back of your neck and the floor. You should be able to move your head around really easily. Press down the hands into the ground. You can bring the triceps onto the ground with the fingers pointing up if that feels good, just like before. Start by pulling your belly in, squeeze your glutes, and press into your heels, lifting. Maybe you can come higher this time. If it feels good, you can start to shimmy. the shoulders under you, clasping your hands, and trying to lift higher. Keep squeezing your glutes. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing the arms out, relax down. You can windscreen wiper the knees side to side. We're going to do that one more time. If you want to take wheel instead, you are welcome to take wheel instead. So I will take wheel pose, and then after I'm finished recording this, I'll record a quick how to do wheel with props against a wall so that you can work on it. If you've been to class with me, we've done this before, very occasionally, because it depends on how many people are in class. But yeah, so I'll do a quick how to use your blocks and the wall to kind of help you press up into wheel, and I'll post it. And then after you've done this class, if you want to try that, you can, and that way you're nice and open, and then you have that tutorial video. So if you're taking bridge pose, you're going to do the same as before, just lifting up through the hips, whatever feels good for you. If you have a block, you can stick it under there and take supported bridge. If you're taking wheel pose, fingertips pointing to your shoulders, hands next to your ears, your elbows are pointing straight up. If this is already a challenge for you, just stay here and practice getting your elbows so they're pointing straight up. If you feel good about it, you can press into your hands and feet and lift. Maybe pressing your chest forward, trying to bring your ears out in front of your arms. Maybe you can look down. Just keep trying to press into your feet, pull your belly in, squeezing your glutes. And then whenever you're ready, chin into your chest, slowly come down. Whew. Arms by your sides, just let your knees drop over towards the left. You can bring your right arm out if you'd like, maybe looking to the right. When you're ready, slowly coming back into center, we'll let the knees drop over to the other side. Maybe the left arm is reaching out. On your next inhale, just bring yourself back to center. Maybe rock around a little bit, giving yourself a hug. If you love Happy Baby, you're welcome to take it. I'm going to skip it today. And when you're ready, just pulling your knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug. Try to squeeze every muscle you can access. And then as you exhale, just release down. Find where you'd like to be for a Shavasana. You can pause me now and take a really long Shavasana if you like to. I'm not going to stay here for a super long time, but start by taking 3 deep inhales. Try to fill your body up. And then exhale it all out through the mouth if that's comfortable for you. And And just allow your breath to relax back into its natural state. Maybe bringing your mind back to that intention that you set and just repeating it in your mind while you're here in your Shavasana, or just focusing on your breath, inhaling and exhaling, letting those exhales sweep away your tension as you melt in towards the floor. If you're ready for it, you can start to bring some movement back into your body, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe making the movements a little bigger by rocking your legs side to side or reaching your arms. We'll take a full deep inhale, lengthening out, filling your body. And as you exhale, just start to bend one knee at a time and roll off onto one side. Using whichever arm is on the bottom as a pillow. And then when you're ready, gently begin to press yourself up, finding any seated position that's comfortable for you. We'll just kind of rock the head side to side a few times. And then when you're ready, inhaling the arms up, lengthen as tall as you can. As you exhale, take your hands down to your heart. Take a moment to give gratitude to your body. And thank you all for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.